When she brought up the party, her lake-loving boyfriend blustered around, but eventually the truth came clear. He wasn't going to take her anywhere in public. She was good enough alone in the dark with him, but not good enough to be seen with him in the daylight. It was one of the times when it was hardest not to cry. Stiff-lipped, she'd ordered him to take her home. He got angrier and angrier as they drove. When she jerked the car door open, he said, "I was going to dump you anyway. You're not like a normal girl. You're cold." Kate stared after the car when it had gone. So she wasn't normal. Fine, she knew that already. So she was cold. And the way he'd said it made it obvious that he didn't just mean her personality. He meant more. Well, that was fine too. She'd rather be cold all her life than feel anything with a guy like that. The memory of his humid palms on her arms made her want to wipe her own hands on the skirt of her red dress. So I'm cold, Kate thought now, shifting in the front seat of Joyce's convertible. So what? There are other things in life to be interested in. And really, she didn't care how many boys were at the Institute. She'd ignore them. She'd stick with Anna. She just hoped Anna wasn't boy crazy. "And that she likes you," a small, nerve-wracking voice in her head added. Caitlin squashed the thought, tossing her head to feel the wind snapping her hair back, enjoying the motion and the sunshine. "Is it much farther?" she asked. "I can't wait." Joyce laughed. "No, it's not far." They were driving through residential streets now. Caitlin looked around eagerly, but with the tingling in her stomach. What if the Institute was too big, too sterile, too intimidating? She pictured a large, squat red brick building, something like her old high school back in Thoroughfare. Joyce turned the convertible into a driveway and Kate stared. "Is this it?" "Yep, but it's purple." It was extremely purple. The shingled sides were a cool but vivid purple. The wood trim around the windows was darker purple. The door and wrap-around balcony were glaring high-gloss purple. The only things that weren't purple were the slate-grey roof and the bricks in the chimney. Kate felt as if someone had dropped her into a swimming pool full of grape juice. She didn't know if she loved the colour scheme or hated it. "We haven't had time to paint it yet," Joyce explained. "We've been busy converting most of the first floor to labs. But you can have the full tour tomorrow. Why don't you go up and meet your housemates?" Thrills of nervousness wound through Kate's stomach. The Institute was so much smaller, so much more intimate than she'd imagined. She'd really be living with these people. "Sure, that's fine," she said, and held her head very high as she got out of the car. "Don't worry about the luggage yet. Just go on in. Go straight past the living room and you'll see a staircase on your right. Take that upstairs. The whole second floor is for you kids. I told Lewis and Anna that you can work out the bedroom situation for yourselves." Caitlin went, trying not to either dawdle or hurry. She wouldn't let anyone see how nervous she was. The very purple front door was unlocked. The inside of the house wasn't purple. It looked quite ordinary, with a large living room on the right and a large enough dining room on the left. Don't look at it now. Go on up. Caitlin's feet carried her down the tiled foyer that separated them until she reached the staircase. Take it slow. Just keep breathing. But her heart was going quickly, and her feet wanted to leap up the steps. The stairs made a U-turn at a landing, and then she was at the top. The hallway was crowded with odds and ends of furniture, piled haphazardly. In front of Kate and to the left was an open door. She could hear voices inside. Okay, who cares if they're nice? They're probably creeps, and I don't care. I don't need anyone. Maybe I can learn to put curses on people. The last-minute panic made her reckless, and she plunged through the door almost belligerently, and stopped. A girl was kneeling on a bed without sheets or blankets. A lovely girl, graceful and dark, with high cheekbones and an expression of serenity. Caitlin's belligerence seeped away, and all the walls she normally kept around her seemed to dissolve. Peacefulness seemed to come from the other girl like a cool wind. The girl smiled. "You're Caitlin. And you're Anna? Anna Eva White Raven. "What a wonderful name," Caitlin said. It wasn't the sort of thing people said back at Warren G. Harding High School, but Caitlin wasn't at Warren G. Harding High School anymore, and Anna's serene expression broke into another smile. "You've got wonderful eyes," she said. "Does she?" another voice said eagerly. "Hey, turn round." Caitlin was already turning. On the far side of the room was an alcove with a bay window, and a boy coming out of it. He didn't look threatening. He had a cap of black hair and dark almond-shaped eyes. From the camera in his hands, Caitlin guessed he'd been taking pictures out the open window. "Smile!" A flashbulb blinded Caitlin. "Ouch!" "Sorry, I just wanted to preserve the moment." The boy let go of the camera, which bounced as the strap around his neck caught it, and stuck out a hand. "You do have kind of neat eyes. Kind of weird. I'm Louis Chow." He had a sweet face, Caitlin decided. He wasn't big and gross, but rather small and neat. His hand wasn't sweaty when she took it, and his eyes weren't hungry. "Louis has been taking pictures since we got here this morning," Anna said. "We've got the entire block on record." Caitlin blinked away blue after images and looked at Louis curiously. "Really? Where'd you come from?" It must be even farther away than Ohio, she thought. He smiled beautifully. "San Francisco." Caitlin laughed, and suddenly they were all laughing together. Not malicious laughter, not laughing at anyone, but wonderful torrents of giggles together. And then Kate knew. "I'm going to be happy here," she realized. It was almost too big a concept to take in at once. She was going to be happy, and for a year. A panorama opened before her. Sitting by the fireplace she'd seen downstairs, studying, the others all doing their own projects, everyone joined by a warm sort of togetherness, even while they did their own things. Each of them different, but not minding the differences. No need for walls between them. They began to talk, eagerly, friendship flying back and forth. It seemed quite natural to join Anna sitting on the bed. "I'm from Ohio," Kate started. "Aha, a Buckeye," Louis put in. "I'm from Washington State," Anna said, "near Puget Sound." "You're Native American, aren't you?" "Yes. Suquamish." "She talks to animals," Louis said. Anna said gently, "I don't really talk to them. I can influence them to do things. Sometimes." "It's a kind of thought projection," Joyce says. "Thought projection with animals?" A few weeks ago Kate would have said it sounded insane, but then wasn't her own talent insane? If one was possible, so was the other. "I've got PK," Louis said. "That's psychokinesis, mind over matter." "Like spoon-bending?" Kate said uncertainly. "Nah, spoon-bending's a trick. Real PK is only for little things, like making a compass needle deflect. What do you do?" Despite herself, Caitlin's heart bumped. She'd never in her life said aloud the thing she was going to say. "I kind of see the future. At least, I don't, but my drawings do. And when I look back at them, I see that they did. But usually only after the thing has already happened," she finished incoherently. Louis and Anna looked thoughtful. "That's cool," Louis said at last, and Anna said, "So you're an artist?" The relief that flooded Caitlin was painful, and its aftermath left her jubilant. "I guess. I like to draw." "I'd like to draw right now," she thought, dying to get hold of some pastels. She'd draw Anna with burnt umber and matte black and sienna. She'd do Louis with blue-black, his hair was that shiny, and some sort of flesh ochre mixture for his skin. Later, she told herself. Aloud, she said, "So what about the bedrooms up here? Who goes where?" "That's just what we've been trying to figure out," Anna said. "The problem is that there are supposed to be 5 of us students, and they've only got 4 bedrooms. There's this one, and another one even bigger next door, then 2 smaller ones on the back side of the house. And only the big ones have cable hookup. I've explained and explained," said Louis, looking tragic, "that I need my MTV, but she doesn't understand. And I need enough outlets for my computer and stereo and stuff. Only the big rooms have those. It's not fair for us to take the good rooms before the others even get here," Anna said gently but firmly.